Show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. How are you over there, Marvin Wilson?
Fantastic. How you doing, Kim?
I'm doing great, I'm so glad to have you here today. And you wear a lot of different hats, so I'm so excited about the hat talking about today. Everybody grab your virtual seats. Make sure that you share the broadcast with your friends, your family. We really are bringing balance to the world, one household at a time here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And today may be that missing piece of the puzzle that's missing for you and your children and your young people that are in your house that have opportunities that they don't even know exist. We're going to be talking about the business of basketball today. That's going to be a whole thing, which I didn't know a lot of what I read about. So I cannot wait. First of all, how's everything been going? Because you've been on the show. You're our Freestyle Friday expert. You wear a lot of hats, but I miss you. So tell me.
Yeah. I miss you too. Yes, I miss you too. And always thanks again, Kim, for the opportunity. I mean, of course, my journey, of course, having the non-depository bank and the franchise and working a lot on, in that sector. I was, had a great couple of years and, still, of course, I still wear that hat too, but I'm more in tune now with more of, my God-given talents, a lot of things that I do, but I want to make sure that I'm more, focused on substance, community, where was I at again, being able to be a problem solver in the community. And so, with my nonprofit Wisdom Foundation, of course, I've helped a couple organizations and kids with financial literacy about credit and business. So I'm just turning it a little bit over, still towards the kids, but I want them to, with our God-given talents, which a lot of our kids have them. That's right. And parents do too. But we just want to make sure they're not just going by the wayside. We want to bring a little bit more awareness around about this subject matter we're going to talk about today.
I'm really glad about that because I know, again, when you say you are a problem solver, a solution provider, these are things you've done over the years. You've been doing Ticketmaster type of sales. You've helped people that are small businesses actually start up their businesses and be the bank. It's so many hats that you've worn over the years. And so this one just being one of the additional things is truly a blessing to the community. But what I wanted to do is just give you a chance, if you would, because you have also served our country and you've served with Desert Storm. I just want you to take us back. We don't always get to hear behind the scenes of Marvin Wilson. So take us back some on even your service to our country. And thank you for your service, by the way. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
And y'all put some emojis and hearts and stuff in the comments and some thank yous, because when people come back from these military assignments, they don't always come back fully the way they left. So talk to us, Marvin.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing journey. I actually went in. I had to, being the only child, I had to have my parents to sign off on that. And, that was a little interesting because they really wasn't. Well, my mother wasn't really open to that at that time. I just finished high school, and I'm like, hey, I need to do this. I did have the option to go to college, but at that time, life was lifing. And I just felt that I needed that accountability at that time. So going in the Navy, I have an amazing job. I was working under a Captain Roughhead, which actually sort of working indirectly with the White House now. He sort of took it up a couple levels as a admiral. But I worked with him on doing what we call it, sort of administering a new, like plank owner. What we call it, plank owner. Plank owner is basically when you have only 2 or 3 people assigned to a ship, and the ship hasn't even been built yet. You know, it was just on paper.
Right.
You know, USS Barry was just on paper. So we had got all the modules and you know, all the books and everything put together, and that took 2 years. So anyway, with that, we did some sea trials, and I wound up going into the Desert Storm around Bahrain for like first tour was like 6 months, and you know, it was you know, very interesting. You know, and I talk a lot about that because a lot of people. Um, I think that just with the knowledge of war and the knowledge of just serving, it goes in a lot of areas. You know, you can serve in so many different facets of military. You don't have to be in the war to have to serve, of course, but with mine, it was more because it was just something that they had never seen before. And that was like a war that had no bullets. So I was in a chemical biological warfare war that was, you know, they were just using gas and chemicals and invisible energies and things like that to sort of destroy and, you know, and kill people. So, and being on a destroyer, which that's the ship that I was on. I mean, it says what it is. It was a destroyer. You know, Tomahawk missiles and all that. So, make a long story short on that, I saw a lot at a young age, and was able to, you know, walk out of the military for the most part with my limbs and arms and most of my mind. And you know, but at the end of the day, it did a lot for me. I grew up a lot. I was able to see a lot. I was well traveled. Was able to see a lot of different environments and cultures that opened me up to what it was to serve and how it important for us to just be grateful in life in general. So that was great. So when I got out in my mid 20s, you know, I went out and I actually served and worked for the Veterans Hospital, which was retroactive towards my retirement because it was a federal facility. So the continuation of service went there for another close to 6 years. And so in 2008, I thought, okay, this is, you know, I not so much bowed out. I sort of put a resignation in good faith, of course, to say, you know, I've done my part and, you know, went into my entrepreneur endeavors.
And that's when you started doing more of the funding piece, right? Or the ticket.
No, actually, the first thing that I encountered when I got out of the military was I had a celebrity travel agency. It was called Wilson Secret Travels.
I've known you for a few years, and do you know I'm just hearing that for the first time, Mr. Marvin? Really? So you had a celebrity travel agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was interesting then, Kim, because back in the days, I mean, you're around, I mean, you know, it was 2008 or 9. Charlotte didn't really have like a big cast of celebrities, you know, like celebrities like the Anthony Howe, you know, we didn't have all of it at that time. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to stir it up to get towards more local talent. I had like Cheryl Girl from the radio station. We did her. Yeah. We actually was able to take her on a wonderful honeymoon and did her wedding. We took a lot of the mega churches. I don't see that we might have ran across each other, but I did take a couple of churches here in North and South Carolina and Virginia up to the inauguration for Obama. We took like 8 buses up there, and
I remember this company, but I didn't know it was you, the mastermind behind it. So you said things you are really behind that people don't even know of. That's insane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It was a lot of things that was going on at that time, and you know, working with a lot of the you know, the cruises and things like that. You know, Michael Bazin, and you know, and it was a lot of the people that I was working with from nonprofit sectors that was, you know, helping out with those cruises. So it was interesting. It opened up a lot of doors for me. That was more even community because I was working with more nonprofits at that time. And it just went in and on and on and on. And, you know, but the celebrity piece of it was more of that got me connected to the ticketing. So when I had my office down on 9th Street, I was working with the I was renting the building from the Levines at the time.
Right.
You know, I want to always give a big shout out to the Levines because they did give me an opportunity. And you know, anybody know the Levines, the Family Dollar heirs? They don't just rent to anybody. You know,
you better believe it. No,
I just want to throw that in there. They, you know, they run a tight ship, but they gave me an opportunity. They felt they saw my heart on, you know, the things that I was, targeting and the people that I was trying to talk to and get relevant and get into the community. And they opened up a lot of doors for me. So with that, I got into ticketing with Via Me and Easy Ticks. And then that's when CIAA came, and that's when it just boom.
That's when that's where I knew about. There would be like 30,000 people, 20,000 people at events. And I'm like, who is the mastermind behind all of this? And here it was Marvin Wilson, who's here today, y'all, on the Kim Jacobs Show. So y'all don't know how far reaching the Kim Jacobs Show can go. It can get to people like Marvin Wilson out there who can bring in 20, 30,000 people to an event, get butts in the seats, you know? Mm-hmm. So with the ticketing piece, I know that was another partnership, a spinoff where you talked to us about that part of your
life. It was interesting because, you know, I want to make sure that I give honor to Wayne Davis, God rest his he transitioned a couple of years ago. He was my mentor. He was he was a Black gentleman that had been around semi-professional basketball team, professional teams. And he had bought into a ticketing company that was running out of Mexico and the West Coast. And he wanted to bring that type of platform here to Charlotte. And he was like, Marvin, he's like, what happened was his office was in the same office building was mine. Yeah. And at that time, ticketing, he didn't really understand the dynamics of Charlotte. At that time, I was pretty much out there, knew a lot of people. And he was like, Marvin, where are all these people come? You know, I've seen the mayor coming here. I done seen the city councilman coming here. I done seen Larry Johnson from the Charlotte Horn. I done seen everybody coming. What are you doing? And I was like, well, man, I'm speaking to people that, have ideas outside of what they normally do. And get people to travel with them and get in, encompass their nonprofits and their missions about how they feel about the community. He was like, oh man. So anyway, he gave me an opportunity. He says, man, listen, I have a ticketing company, an idea, and I would love to see how we can partner up and take this thing over, city over. And so I was like, okay, I want to hear more. And we did. And we just, at that time, he was a Kappa. He was the first Kappa chapter out of Chapel Hill at that time. Yep. That's him, Wayne Davis.
I'm over here doing my research.
Oh, there you go. That's my man. Oh yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, man.
Anytime you give honor to someone where honor is due, I do my best over here, work all these buttons to find it, because that speaks volumes that he had an idea and then he shared the idea. You literally put some meat on the bones, and now even in his passing, his dash is still making a difference because you're here giving honor and tribute to him today.
Yeah, absolutely, always. I mean, he opened up my mind. I've never seen, of course, Afro-American, to have an idea to even compete, to even have the confidence or have the temperament to compete at that time with Ticketmaster. Anybody know Ticketmaster is Ticketmaster. So, but we had some crossroads. We rebuilt it up. He had a frat brother that was actually at that time was the president of Hampton University, which is also was the president over CIAA, and took a trip up there and we said, hey man, we heard about CIAA have outgrown Raleigh. Mm-hmm. And we know it's coming to the Queen City, and we'd love to see how we can be your ticketing platform for CIAA. And one thing led to another, and Kim, after that, the rest was history. We did the first 2 years, we did close to $130 million in ticket sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is like, when I say
Mhm.
unbelievable, to say that's unheard of, unfathomable. So that's the thing. An opportunity that you don't even really know is going to become an opportunity becomes an opportunity, all
Yeah.
because you follow through and pursue it. How important is that for people that are business entrepreneurs out here that are tuned into the show, and they're like, we don't even always know where to begin per se.
Yeah.
But then we encounter people like you, Marvin Wilson.
Mhm.
And let me also do this. And this is this the Levine family, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
I want to make sure I do fair balance here. The Levine family also
Yep.
believed in you and poured
Yeah.
into your dreams and goals as an entrepreneur. And so shout out to you. I know that picture's a little blurry, but I just want to say shout out to those pioneers that have supported you as a young and uprising entrepreneur. What advice would you give? And I know that's not even what we're talking about today, y'all. We're talking about the business of basketball. We get ready to hop into it. But this man, when you have him in your presence, you want to make sure that you don't miss the opportunity to glean from this brilliance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he's also one of the Kim Jacobs Show Freestyle Friday experts. So I'm going to tap into it a little deeper here.
Yeah,
What
we
advice?
go there, Kim. We go there.
Well, I feel like you're a brother, literally.
Yeah,
You know how you have some people that
I
you
received that. Yes, and likewise,
I really genuinely just think so fondly of you, and I appreciate that God connected our paths. So anyway, what advice would you give people that are up and rising entrepreneurs and they don't really know where to even start? Any advice?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, usually when I'm talking to, of course, when I'm helping people with funding, there's all type of ideas like, oh, what I'm doing, what I'm, so
Right.
I tell people, just like with my story, it was, you hear the bells and whistles, oh, celebrity this and this and that. But at the end of the
Right.
day, I was serving, and I use my words very carefully. I was serving, uh, where my heart was. And you got to get with the right-minded people, and it's gonna, and I don't want to say it sounds crazy, but people got to understand is that when if you really want to do well, one, you want to be, you want to be, um, in a place that you want to give it your all. You don't want to
That's
do it for the money, right? A lot
that's
of people
good.
do things for the money, and I get it. Everybody needs that, but at the end of the day, if you really want people to feel you, you
That's good.
understand, you have to lead with your heart.
Okay.
And sometimes the money's not going to be there. So I would tell everybody, man, get as close as you can to what you love,
That's good. That's good.
and you will see things show up. Uh, you know, things will show up, and you'll be like, oh wow, because people they see you. My grandmother always said, you never know who's watching you, boy. You know, and and I always believed that. Not that I was looking for that, but you
Right.
just do the best you can where you are. Stay grateful and stay humble and work hard, and those things will put you in places. But I would always tell people, yes, just get a mentor, get someone that have done similar or something to what you want to do, and be authentic to yourself, but just see how that world opens up,
That's good.
so how to your liking. So
That's
I would
good.
tell,
Y'all should be typing these in case you're going back later and watching a replay or somebody else is watching. Type in serving where your heart is, do what you love, and get a mentor.
yeah,
How important is it to get a mentor?
mentor is everything. Because I feel that when it comes to life, you're always some type of way. You're going through some type of transition. You're evolving, as a person,
Mhm.
sometimes as a parent, sometimes as a student. We wear a bunch of hats out here, and really we don't, identify with it, but we do. But I think from a mentor perspective, when you choose wisely,
That's good.
they will tell you more about your capabilities and what you would really need to know based on where you are, opposed to you're looking saying, okay, I got to do this, I need to do this.
Right.
And sometimes mentored, they can cut you a lot of time, they can save you a lot of time. And then they also, by who they are, can open up some doors for you as well.
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's sort of, you're killing two birds with one stone with that. And I think, mentors, that really pride into helping the community is also a great opportunity as well when people are, are understanding business and doing a service.
That's good. And speaking of service, you did service even when you were in Desert Storm. You actually volunteered as a chaplain, as a spokesperson. You've just been out here doing so many things, and I learned so much more just deep diving into some of your background to talk about this today. How has all of this helped shape who you are in dealing with the youth today? Has this made some kind of impact?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I went in basically in the military as a child, and when you leave home with that type of being around that type of pedigree of men, you without saying it, you're looking for some type of guidance. It's a new world out there, and so I would say that when it comes down to the kids, I really have a real soft spot when it comes to just kids just need some type of idea that is possible, or something that hasn't been done yet, or doing it a different way. And so I've always tried to model what I'm doing in a way that they can sort of see it from a different perspective, or open up their minds and let them know, no, you're not by yourself. I get it. And try to serve them into, looking at everything more, not just as just something that you're doing.
Right.
This is a business. This is your God-given talent that you have. Don't play with it.
Good. And what we're going to do when we come right back after this commercial break, we're going to start talking about the business of basketball and what inspired you to start the Wisdom Foundation. So when we come right back, we're going to hear from Marvin Wilson about his new venture, the Wisdom Foundation. We'll be right back right after this commercial break. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you, as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to eWomenNetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community. All right, everyone. So we actually have a speaker that's coming up that I don't think any of you will want to miss. And it's going to be on March 20th. And it's Dr. Marcia Alston will be speaking at our event for eWomen Network in Charlotte at the Brownstone Signature Events. This is where we have our event. This is also where we have our church service. For those of you that don't know, I'm also a new pastor here in Charlotte, and our church services are held in this event venue as well, Brownstone Signature Events in Harrisburg, right 5 minutes from UNC Charlotte and about 2 minutes from Captain Steve's if anybody's in the Charlotte area. So make sure you all come and start visiting our church on Sundays at 10 a.m. We welcome you. But our eWomen Network event is on March 20th. We have Dr. Marcia Alston as our speaker, and we are also having a summit that is going to happen in that same event venue on May 7th. With Sandra Yancey, our founder of eWomen Network, teaching us how to unlock our profit power. Okay, so Marvin, I'm going to share the website because I really want people to get a visual of what's happening here with the Wisdom Foundation. So let's take it away, and I'm going to pull it up here. And then you can just talk to us instead of me. I was going to read it from your bio, but I was like, I want to hear from your heart instead. So the Wisdom Foundation, tell us what made you start this initiative.
It actually, I've had Wisdom Foundation, since like 2013.
Mm.
I've done a lot of things behind the scenes, of course. Kim, that a lot of people didn't know about, of course, feeding the homeless, 200 something people, and I had some kiosks in the mall, and I'm doing a lot of working with kids with indirectly with just financial literacy and putting information in the malls, and talking to them. Definitely was really huge during COVID. I had so many classes that was showing up for that. But Wisdom Foundation is basically just it's just more pouring into individuals' mindsets, and that's spiritually, emotionally, physically, and just pioneering people to understand that it's this, you have imagination, you got all these unseen God-given talents that's been given to you, and I just want to make sure I keep people aware that they have these things, and they can use it to be prosperous and living a full life, and can help a lot of people. And I just, wisdom was something that God gave me, and I thank God for it, because that was a hell of a name. I love it.
Right.
I was like, okay, wow, this is some accountability here. So I'm doing everything that I can to, uphold what it stands for. But it's really about, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah,
That's
and I
really
like
what it
this
comes
quote
from.
right here. It says, "Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do."
Yeah.
Voltaire.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so you're
Mhm.
you're accountable for the name that God gave you, and
Yeah.
you're gonna do something with it and make it a memorable situation. Tell us about this picture here.
Yeah, that was actually downtown, right there by the government building, and we had brought out, some cups, some porter pits, and we was giving out, we're giving out, some toiletries and things like that, and we were also, feeding the homeless from that point, and just giving them some good hot food and loving on them, and that's something that I have seen, around me, and all my life, of people that just didn't have those options. So I just wanted to make sure I did that. But other than that, the business of basketball. This is actually my second event that I've done,
Okay.
but just not at this level. I did have an idea with business of basketball when the NBA All Star came,
Okay.
and I did a couple speakers come out, but for the most part, that was just pretty much what it is. But now it's grown into a whole nother thing. So
Okay, so how does this work? The business of basketball. I can pull the slides up. I
yeah,
see some. Let
yeah,
me just pull the website back up. But talk to us and tell us how people can get involved. Who can be involved? Is it children? Is it sponsors? Talk to us about the process so everyone knows what role we can play in being a part of the business of basketball.
sure. Definitely when it comes to being a part of it, we've got a lot of great feedback, and a lot of this, guys, if you go to any, if you can just go on the website itself, it pretty much tailors everything that's going on with the event. But for the most part, there's going to be a 2-day event. Definitely, vendors opportunities are there. Sponsorship is there. Our cutoff is going to be probably about tomorrow, because we got to get some
Oh,
things on print.
that's very
Um,
important, everybody. 'Cause if you're interested in
yeah,
being a sponsor, you need to know that tomorrow, which if you're watching this as a replay or anything, and what's today's date? March 10th is today's
yeah,
date, March 10th. I know sometimes I'll run episodes as a replay. If that's the case, just make sure that you go to visit the Wisdom Foundation
hmm,
website and then learn about any future opportunities. But today is March 10th, 2025 is what day we're talking with Marvin
yeah,
directly live.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
this is the event schedule. And
Yeah. That's a bit. That's an itinerary. It's going to be a 2-day event on March the 19th and 20th, which is going in midway of next week or so. I think that we're on the actually in the next 8-9 days.
yes.
And it's going to be basically we're trying to get this thing rolling pretty much after high school, like once school is out. So getting there around 5:30 would be great. It's going to
Hmm.
be rolling up until like maybe 8:39. We have different pricing. Student tickets is only going to be for 15. For both days is 25. So we're trying to keep it very reasonable for that. But it's going to be action packed. We're going to have the first day. We're going to have a financial literacy panel discussion,
Okay.
um, and this is the premise of it: business of basketball. So the business of basketball. The premise of it is that as I've talked about my career, I've always seen things on the other side, meaning
Hmm.
whether you performing on stage or running touchdowns or scoring 3-pointers or whatever.
Hmm.
That's one piece of it. That's what you love to do, but you should be able to understand how you can also be compensated or how that can be valued. And that
Okay.
goes from being a parent of someone that has great given talents, God given talents, and that also goes to the athlete and the students that have these abilities. So we're going to
Right.
cover having NIL agents coming on. We got Division 1. When I say Division 1, that's like the major colleges like
Yes.
Chapel Hill,
Are they coming and
Rogers.
scouting, or are they just coming and observing and participating? What's happening when
Well, for the
these
most part, we don't like to use the word scouting, but they're going to come out and give their what they looking for. You know,
assessments?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and spread a little bit of information. I've reached out. We've got a couple local people that have done well in this area, and I've talked to like Kevin Carr, and then the Allen Iversons and Jermaine, the Jamesons of the world. We got Fly Tie. That's going to be there, which is actually the official host of the Charlotte Hornets. Then we have the mascot coming out because we want to make sure it's fun too. And then, yeah, and then we got the radio station DJs coming out. It's going to make it fun because this thing is when I'm saying business of basketball, Kim, I want these kids to really understand what it looks like when they get to that next level. I want to make sure that they hearing the music and they're getting the
Yes.
interviews and people in their face, and they're gonna have to, you know, this is what it's gonna take you to be that professional, well
Yes.
spoke. You're gonna have to speak. You're gonna have to let people know how did you feel about the game. We know to be able to pull that emotional factor down
That
and
is so
still be able to give good interviews, know what they're looking for on social media, the type of nonprofit, like what type of person you are, maybe some type of different organizations that you might want to volunteer your time with, because that all this stuff is valuable when people say, "I want to give you $250,000."
right. So we want the
Yeah,
well-rounded package. So
yeah,
what are we ultimately going to get if we invest in you?
yeah,
What's going to be the benefit to us as well,
yes,
so that we're not looking a fool, basically. And so
absolutely,
that's beautiful. So you're going
yeah.
to tell them this is something personally that, and again, I'm not that into basketball that I would know one way or the other, but I don't think
Mhm.
I've ever heard of anything of this magnitude. The business
Yeah.
of basketball, does it exist somewhere else? Because I'm
People
not.
pick on it here and there.
Uh,
And when God gave me this idea, at first I was thinking of more hitting it from the college. And I
right.
said, no, 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 no. I want to particularly get this thing right in the middle. And anybody knows about basketball, North Carolina, March Madness is crazy. Right
Crazy.
now,
Now
we're
you
in the
know
middle.
about that. I know about that. I done
Yeah,
been
yeah,
to those.
yeah. It's. So, and Charlotte now is the headquarters for March Madness,
Yes.
ACC tournament, right?
Mhm.
So, with that being said, and people, I'm God give me, I'm so grateful, because I've also have my event, but I've also been working with the BCIC, which is a historically black conference that's coming to
Yes.
Charlotte too.
Okay.
So I'm working with them too. But me personally, I wanted to make sure that this information was in with the high school students. I
That is
think
a
that
beautiful.
that's where it's more valuable, because now, I want this audience to know this. At any given time, guys, I'm seeing kids 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 getting 100, 150, $200,000 opportunities. Like, I'm talking about while they still riding the school bus.
Right.
So the legislation, government has took, back in the day, that was like illegal to get money. But now it's not so much coming from the schools.
Right.
It's coming from these businesses. It's coming from someone that says, hey, Mrs. Jacobs, you're excellent in softball. Could you be in this Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial for us, please?
Right.
Because you're getting, cause social media, you're bigger than, social media makes you a celebrity overnight. And
Right.
then God knows you're getting TV time. Now you're in college playing basketball, or you're about to be playing basketball.
Right.
So now they're putting their monies in the people that they know that's going to be popular in any sense. And that's what NIL stands for. It's your name, image, and likeness.
Okay. Somebody type that: name, image, and likeness. So NIL is name, comma, image, and likeness.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're trying to determine, if you're going to provide that well-rounded package for them to be able to pour into you.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's awareness, and that's what I want to bring around. I want to bring around the people that understands that and knows, what that looks like, so the parents can be aware. So these students can be aware, and stay open to the top to understand. And, I talk about this all the time when it comes to the funding side. Are you ready to receive? Because it's like this. If I'm, just like Kim has some wonderful, wonderful boys, amazing, So if someone would come to Kim and say, hey, Kim, we want to give one of your boys $250,000 every 6 months, but they just need to be in our commercials. Well, would Kim go and put this in her personal bank account? Or would she rather have more of a LLC,
right,
or a business? You understand,
Hence, you are the funding CEO.
Yeah. How are you looking when this opportunity comes? And what do you need to do to be ready to put your kid in the best opportunity to not only be able to, recycle these monies, but put these monies in the right places. So all that's going to be there at that event. And that's really where I'm putting a lot of my, energy on, is the information. I tell people information is key.
Yes.
Information is key.
So I'm going to share this again, because I want to make sure people know today, this whole episode, we want to really, even though we talked about some of Marvin's backstory, being in Desert Storm, his military, being in his previous world with Ticketmaster type of sales, he was competing with Ticketmaster. Anyway, the point is, he did some work in ticketing and celebrity car services and things that he's done. He's funding CEO. Right now, he has been the founder of Wisdom Foundation since 2013.
Yep.
And this initiative that's happening is one that is going to be a game changer, the Business of Basketball. And so I want to make sure I pull this up for people to know how they can sponsor.
Yeah. I want to give a big shout out to, it's always, God pick a certain season out for you. And I tell you, you got to be, just being very grateful. Right now, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors on board. We have Wave, which is the Black Uber. This is official sponsor for the Charlotte Hornets and Panthers, have signed. That's going to be actually, utilizing services, getting kids and people back and forth to our events.
Okay.
And they're major. Anybody want to, look up Wave, but the Uber Wave, it's huge. And it's Black on. He went to Harvard University. He's a great, I call it financial mastermind. We also have our brothers No Grease Barbershop that's going to be sponsoring the event. We also have our my sister Miss Teresa Hutchison with the Doobie Shops Cosmetology that's going to be on board. And definitely, I want to give a big shout out to my VP, Michael Shade, that's actually running one of the bigger major banks that's coming into our city now. That's in the middle of Wales and Bank of America, which is Huntington Bank, which is one of our biggest sponsors. Huntington Bank.
You said Wave, No Grease Barbershop. What was the other one? The Doobie Shop.
Yeah, Doobie Shops. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what was the last one you just said?
Huntington Bank. Yeah.
Okay.
Huntington Bank's supposed to be should be opening up about 30 or 40 locations here in the North and South Carolina areas here within the next couple of years. Yeah, they're big in the Midwest, but of course, my funding rush, it's just great. They see the vision, and they really want to get behind it. And of course, this is being really my first event, but by these guys jumping on board now, we're going to grow it. And we're going to grow it because and like Kim said, you don't hear about this stuff a lot. You don't hear about people hitting it from this side. We know the talent. We know we got plenty of talent, but what is the business of the talent?
Yes. This is good. So anybody still interested in sponsoring, you have until technically tomorrow to go ahead and submit your sponsorship. And when I say it's going to be a big event, your name will be front and center everywhere you could imagine, with thousands upon thousands of people with their eyes on your brand. So here are the sponsorship packages ranging from $250 up to, I don't have my glasses on this.
$5,000.
Okay, up to $5,000. And so that's level 1 through level 6. So somewhere in between there, you can find a package that would work for you if you are a business owner and like to be able to be a part of some game-changing initiatives. You can also visit wisdom-foundation.com to learn more as well. All right, and then what for people to just participate, how old do they need to be? Do they need to be any specific male, female? What needs to happen for people to actually participate?
I always also want to make sure I add this. I don't want to leave some people out. It just hit my phone. I have 3 more sponsors as well.
Come on.
I can't leave those out because these are huge.
You better believe it, especially when I type some of them.
One of the major sponsors I want to definitely give a shout out to Miss Kathleen Johnson, Psychiatry 360, which is the mental health side.
Johnson.
The mental health. Yeah.
And that's what is it?
Psychiatry 360. The number's 360. The Fig Wealth Partners.
What was that one?
Fig Wealth Partners.
Fig Wealth Partners. Okay.
And Miss Tiggo, she does body painting for kids. And
Miss Tiggo?
Miss Tigga, Tyga, body paint. Yeah. She just does body paint, put things on the kids and things. We think that was going to be a great opportunity. So, I mean, we're appreciating it, man, because we know these kids are going to be coming out. They could be from 9, 10 years old up to 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
We're giving out what we did differently. We wanted CMS to be on board. So big shout out to Charlotte Mecklenburg School Systems. Miss Erica over there, she's the executive director over the CMS. We're giving out free tickets to all the high school, 20 something tickets to all the CMS high school and Cabarrus County as well. So what I'm saying, guys, when it comes to the sponsorship, you're going to have kids from every high school. Kim knows there's a lot of high schools in Charlotte.
Yes.
It's a lot now. In Cabarrus County too. And so we're giving out free tickets to all the high schools just for them to come out and participate. So there's going to be people there that's mindful about their kids' future, education, and their knowledge about financial, being just financial competent on this next level.
Yeah.
And we're looking at having, my brother's big ups to Steve Crawford. He's going to talking about insurances and wealth and being able to really know how to move money around. And like I say, Psychiatry 360, they're having anything dealing with people, you got to be mindful of their mental health. Because if the mental health ain't right, ain't nothing right.
Nothing. They're not going to be able to receive properly as a superstar, super celebrity. And you've been in this world for many years, so you're not overwhelmed when it comes to. I know I was watching one of your shows. Speaking of which, he also is a talk show host, and Meta Marvin. He has the Meta Marvin show. And who was that rapper that you had on? I forget.
I had it's been a couple. I had Terminator X. I
Terminator
had
X.
from Public E. Yeah.
I've had I was backstage for that one, doing some stuff with you.
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah. I mean, Kim, you just, like I said, a lot of things. It's just, I have young energy, man. And I love staying active and any way that I could, see something that's not touched or not brought out, I feel that people need to be aware of, or rendering a service that can help people. I'm there, man. So, and again, I volunteer my time and, speaking and, any way that I can help out here. So
you do a great job. And I know you gave us a sneak peek a little bit, but you said that there would be like NBA legends, business professionals.
Oh, yeah.
So any that you want to just name drop, or one or two that people be like, I'm coming.
Yeah. It's you've heard of, there's some people out here that, I don't want to, but there is some Allen Iversons in the area. There's some,
some different ones. Y'all just come into the house
out there. We're talking to a couple people from the Charlotte Hornets. It's really been, great. I want to give a big shout out also to Andre, the owner of Lab City. He is this brother not only is doing he's partnering with us, but he also has a mini camp for kids for basketball. He runs AAU, and he also has a school. So if a kid that just wants to be focused on basketball, he runs a high school in his gym. So you could actually go to high school and play ball for the same school. Yeah, but it's more about the logistics of Lab City. Is just a niche of just about people that just concerned with their basketball and taking it to the next level. So big shout out to Lab City.
Yeah, I've heard about Lab City, and they have a great reputation too. So that's a great thing. I'm trying to see I'm trying to do the most over here, because you got me over here working for real today. You're like, having a show Monday through Friday is one thing, but when you gotta go back over here, we're doing this pulling up stuff at the spur of the moment. It's some good stuff. Let me is this the gentleman you're trying to give a shout out to?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that's Andre, y'all, with Lab City. Make sure y'all check out his program. Is endorsed by Marvin Wilson, founder of the Wisdom Foundation. So anytime he's endorsing someone, it's worth checking it out, because I think that is a reputable situation. So what do you hope that the young athletes and their families will walk away with after participating in this particular invitational?
A wealth of knowledge, information. I want to make sure that they're definitely, understanding the mission for this. I want them to be understanding that they're in a good place, because Charlotte is a heartbeat for basketball talent. And there are going to be people in the building that can change your life, guys. Yeah. So if you have a nephew or you got a niece, and it doesn't have to be basketball, they just interested in sports, I think this would be a great opportunity for them to come in, get the awareness, and really be around the right type of people that I feel that they could help them take their whatever they're doing to the next level in sports.
Now, what if for some reason there are people, this show is in 100 countries and it's on now on Roku and all of these places that are streaming. How can people get involved even if they can't physically come to Charlotte or have their children come to Charlotte?
Actually, we're going to be, if you go to Lab City, we're going to be streaming this thing live. It's going to be live streamed of Lab City there. And so we're going to be, having that. And then we're going to also have a lot of footage and recordings. And then, of course, people can definitely always hit us up. I'm going to be, talking about this a little bit outside of this event as well. So reach out to the website and let us know. But we're also looking for volunteers as well. Anybody that wants to volunteer their time and get in there for free. And
I have some friends that be like, especially with like Bishop T.D. Jakes and different events that be happening. So this is like one of them events. They'll be like, I'm there. I'm
Yep.
there. Anybody that's interested in volunteering and you're hearing this, make sure you let them know Kim Jacobs sent you over there, and I'm sure he'll go ahead and let you in there. They'll
Yep.
vet you out, of course, but
Yep.
you know, do what you have to do. And so, advice that you would give to parents, especially regarding their young athletes, to prepare them for success on and off the court. Any one or two quick points, because I know we're going to be closing soon.
Yeah, definitely just make sure that they're just making sure they're being mindful, not just getting too careless with their social media. Make sure that there are, they're embracing not only their talents on the court, but their education and learning just a little bit more about, what comes with the sport. What it really takes and what it looks like to really not only be, a star on the basketball court or on the field or whatever, but knowing how to carry yourself outside of the, the sport as well.
That's beautiful, beautiful advice. Being mindful of that social media. You have to, as a parent, remind your children this is something that is a permanent situation. You can delete it and think you've deleted it, but somebody already got it and it's still out there. It's a permanent record. So it's best that you just put on there what you don't mind being shared around the world. You also, personally, I see your motivation because I know you, and you stay pretty motivated. What do you do to keep that level of motivation going on a daily basis?
I was tell people ask me that all the time, staying grateful. That's just keep it simple. I mean, I could say a lot of things, but just staying grateful, being mindful that every day is a blessing, man, and just having that serve, just serve, man, just know that you came here for something. Purpose, Kim.
Yeah.
If you can identify that you here and who got you here for that reason and what you made out of and that image and likeness of where you come from, you'll be out here doing a lot of stuff too, and you'll be doing it with a smile on your face. So
I love it. I'm constantly inspired when I'm around you. I see a lot of different comments and things that anybody that have comments and thoughts, go ahead and put them in for a second. We're going to go and do a flash round and give you a chance to speak directly to Marvin. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask them now. I see you, Zakia. I see you, Eric. I see you, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. Just so you know, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is the founder of CTR Media Network. She's the one where we stream on Roku. And speaking of which, the Kim Jacobs Show was just honored to be #1 on CTR Media Network. When you download that app on Roku and Apple TV, Android TV, and Fire TV and everything, you actually download CTR Media Network. You now get to see the Kim Jacobs Show on the self-improvement channel. And we were selected as #1 for that. And one of my recent guests, her name is Dr. Judy Ambrose James. She's #1 in the category of community outreach and nonprofit. Y'all make sure you check out her show, Generational Turnaround. I don't have Michael D. Finkley's image up here, but MD Finkley, you want to check out his show. He recently received the Grammy Award as well, and he's #1 in his category too. So CTR Media Network is no joke, y'all. You want to definitely tune into that and be a part of it. I see you, Judy. You on today. Okay, she said good morning and God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Cathay is on as well. If you didn't check out the episode, he's the owner of, the Black Food Friday trucks, the Black Friday food trucks that happened, which is a mega event. And he's also the owner of Black Businesses of Charlotte. And he's the Chamber of Commerce, Black Chamber of Commerce. He's a newer chairman of that as well. So make sure y'all check out Cathay Dawkins as well. He was just on the show talking about our $2 trillion spending power, that buying power. Or we have some pull when it comes to money and making sure we use our dollars right. All right, let me ask too, have you all partnered with the Kim Jacobs Show? If you have not, what that simply means is give to our broadcast, support it. Be a part of contributing to this broadcast where we're bringing balance to your household every single day, Monday through Friday, we're in your home. And we would like for you, if you would, to support us and to partner with us right from the comfort of your home. You can go to PayPal, Venmo, or you can Zelle or Apple Cash. Either way that works best for you. And that number is 704-962-7161. PayPal, for those that are listening on iHeartRadio and stuff, is paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. And Venmo is at The Kim Jacobs Show. So tell us some final thoughts that you want us to have, Marvin, please.
Yeah, I'm just humbled. I'm glad that I'm able to have this opportunity to speak on your show again, Kim, and just tell them, the business of basketball is going to be great. And I'm looking forward to, the parents and people coming out to really having a good time and enjoying themselves and getting the information that they need, that they can, go back home and be able to look at this thing from a different perspective. So that's it.
And your children's lives, they're going to look at everything very differently when they come and experience the business of basketball. And you're going to learn too as a parent, because then you'll know how to even further guide your children and direct them. So again, visit wisdom-foundation.com, wisdom-foundation.com. I see you, Angela. Glad that you're watching. And I also see you, Rhonda and Rayanne and Evangelist Brenda, Miko, Ingrid, all of y'all. If you put a comment, then I can probably put you up there. But I just want to say thank you all for tuning into today's episode. I do want to just show this image. One more thing. Wait a minute. It was an image that I saw with you, some of the other events that you were doing, and I can just see how sincere these people are. Summer Youth Empowerment Program.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put this up because you're really serving the community. And I don't want people, in case you may go over to the website or not, just tell us a little bit about some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah, that was actually an organization I was working with. They had like 20 kids, but what I was doing, I was bringing them over and teaching them about starting their businesses, learning about credit, learning, what it looks like to open up bank accounts and things like that in that place. And they were actually coming over and participating in the mall and talking to people, giving out handouts and, just learning how to be little businessmen inside of the malls. It was great. They loved it.
And you're building, I really like that, building future leaders. Everything that you're doing is helping our next generation become equipped to be successful. And so I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to share? You know how sometimes when you're on a show, you're like, let me just share this too while I'm on here. Anything else that you?
Hey, I just tell people, listen, I always, and I say this every time I'm on the Kim Jacobs Show, guys, just remember, when things show up, good, bad, or whatever, a lot of people out here, when King Solomon, they asked God, for one thing, it was for wisdom, and so what we got to understand is, guys, you can't let the money become who you are. You are the money. It's your God-given talents. It's your mind. It's your imagination. It's what you love to do.
That's good.
Money is my own natural energy yield. My own natural energy yield. It has nothing to do with the green stuff, but it will get you some if you know what that means. And that's you. That's
the money acronym. Money. Say it one more time. Now that people know you spelling money.
My own natural energy yield.
I'm typing that. My own natural energy yield. That's your money, y'all.
Yeah.
Money.
It's the power of the tongue is how I'm thinking. It's all these invisible things that's coming out of us all the time. But if you know how to really project that in the right way, it'll reciprocate. It'll start coming back to you in money form.
Can you project that in the right way to get somebody to sponsor the show? Say something. Use your money yields theory. Come on, say something.
I got you. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all about giving. You're right, Kim. I got you too. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. You've been doing it for a while. No, Kim is heaven sent, man. She's really always been out here just showing favor on how she can be able to help people. So I appreciate it.
That's funny. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get that money yield in there, right? You're like, all right, y'all. Listen, today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show has been yet again wonderful. Make sure you stay connected with Marvin Wilson, wisdom-foundation.com. Y'all, we'll see you at the upcoming Business and Basketball, the Business of Basketball, coming up March 19th and 20th. When you go visit that website, you can get your tickets, you can be a sponsor, you can encourage, you can volunteer. There are so many opportunities for you. Yep. So don't miss this.
Lab City, it's right across from Bojangles Arena, the black building right across from Bojangles Arena on Independence. Can't miss it.
Oh, that's okay. So that's where it's going to be. Mm-hmm. On East Independence, right at Lab City. Okay.
Yep.
All of the information is right there on wisdom-foundation.com, y'all. Don't miss this opportunity. All right, everybody.
So much,
y'all have a great day, and thank you for being here, Marvin. Have a great day, everybody. See you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take it away, Mackenzie. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning into today's episode, and we'll see you all again Monday through Friday right here on the Kim. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Have a great day, everybody. See you.